Alright, we are back with no sanity, no evidence. You decide. One of my favorite ways to play, and one that you can get a lot of information from. Huh. Interesting. Alright, I hope you knew what that ghost was, and I know I had a lot of people asking about this, so actually take that. Let's see what we can do with this. But hopefully you knew what this ghost was, but I had a lot of requests. Can I loop this ghost around this coffee table? Let's find out. You go so crazy. That's what makes it so hard to frickin' loop it. It's almost easier. See, the ghosts, when they get really fast, they have a hard time, like, turning at a sharp angle. So we looped a rev around that. No sprint. No smudge. And I gave the ghost away. But y'all should have known what that was. Y'all should have known what that was. Yes, of course it was a rev. A nice, easy one to start with. Great footsteps to start listening to. And when I say this first one to learn because of the stark difference of how much slower it is compared to normal speed. Great one to start with. We all love good old revies. Okay, so this was really kind of funny. I forgot to start recording this, and I just did a game, and I was like, hey, we're on Edgefield. Let's see if the ghost is a yokai or not, because for some reason, I always tend to get yokais on Edgefield, and I don't know why. And sure enough, the ghost was a yokai. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, ghost, seriously? Did cross through over there. Alright. Alright, let's see here. What are we going to do? Can you stop turning off the breaker, please? That'd be fantastic. I have a couple ghosts in mind. It's not a yokai. I will tell you that. Not a yokai. It's a Goryo, because that's where the bone is. It's in the ghost room. I'm pretty sure kitchen is the ghost room, unless it is the bathroom. What do we do with the... You scared a bejesus out of me there. I was like, oh my god, are you hunting? We are so screwed. You moved. For some reason. I'm gonna start playing Welcome to the Black Parade. When I was a young boy. Okay. I'm gonna... It's really tough with that kind of range, but... Yeah, the ghost I was sus of the first time is definitely going to be what it is. Did you pick up on it, and do you know why? This is what I do, actually. Stare secretly into the camera. That's right. Ghost was a myling. We could tell that because it was very quiet, and we could only hear the ghost when our flashlight malfunctioned. I hate doing myling tests on Edgefield. I tend to get a lot of mylings on Edgefield too, which is kind of annoying. Myling and yokais. Those are... Edgefield loves those. We were able to kind of eliminate quite a few things along the way. So let's go over exactly what it was. So I knew after the first hunt it was going to be normal speed. So normal speed meant that we could eliminate a... Can we eliminate a Raiju yet? I don't think we had any electronics in, so I don't think we could eliminate that quite just yet. But Moroi, because it would have been fast with 0 Sanity. Dia would have found us, obviously. Thay would have been super fast. Twins would have been slightly slower, slightly faster. Hontu would have been slow. Revenant would have been super slow, obviously. We knew from that hunt it was not going to be a yokai, surprisingly. Maybe the biggest shock of them all. We saw enough of it that I was willing to kind of rule out Obake there. It was normal blinks, so it was not a phantom, not an Oni. I had stepped in the salt, so we knew that it could not be a wraith. We found out, of course, after the hunt, and that was about it. But again, that's a lot of ghosts you can just eliminate in one hunt, which is why I harp on the importance of hunts. Whole day I wasn't really necessarily kind of thinking of. After the first hunt, I thought this ghost seems kind of quiet. I think it could possibly be a myling, which is why I went out, got the flashlight. We're going to do a flashlight test, but it's always good to test for other things. You don't want to get tunneled vision into just one ghost, thinking that's what it is, and then you look for stuff that confirms your thought. Trust me, that's a bad thing that I do a lot as well. So we started just go ahead and testing for other things. That ghost was pretty roamy. I was kind of willing to rule out a Goryo there. We knew it roamed into the hallway. It touched the piano. Like, I would have been shocked if that was going to end up being a Goryo. It cut off the breaker multiple times. Forgot to mention that. I think that was before the first hunt as well. So we knew we could eliminate Jen. So we knew we didn't have to go out for that. Banshee was kind of sus. It was doing... I think it was in the same room as we were doing some of those interactions, so I was willing to kind of rule out a shade there. I had hunted before 3 minutes, so I was willing, obviously, rule out a spirit there. Onryo was one that, again, with an Onryo, you want to check, does a ghost use a crucifix over a lit candle? Knowing how roamy it was kind of sus. Focus on the myling here. I tried to do my best. All right, here's more in depth on a myling. I want to show you what exactly that I'm talking about when it comes to myling test. All right, so this is a map of Edgefield. This is from the unofficial Phasmophobia cheat sheet, okay? It has a cool map option that can actually show you various things, such as hunt sounds. Now, if we hover onto the map, so you're going to see 2 ranges here. This is how I'm going to best try to explain mylings for you. So we are here in the utility room. We were sort of in that corner right there. That's why I hate testing for mylings on this map, because look at the... So you have the full outer circle, which is where you can hear every single ghost. Okay, every single ghost, when it hunts, that's the range. The inner dotted circle, just inside of that first circle, that's where you hear mylings. So as you can see, the range which you can hear their footsteps and their ghost noises. Goises? We're just going to call it goises. Much smaller, and that's what we are testing for. Again, you see how Edgefield, how confined it is. Very hard to test for, but from where we are at in the utility room, we're not able to hear mylings pretty much in the garage at all, or the front of the living room, or towards the stairs. This range, though, you're like, how the hell am I supposed to know that in-game? It's going to be looking at when your electronic equipment malfunctions primarily a flashlight is just the easiest. Set your flashlight on the floor, stand on top of it. If you only hear the ghost around the same time your electronic equipment malfunctions, that's how you test for a myling. Another way to learn about the myling, you're going to listen for like a lot of interactions where you're not going to be able to hear the ghost noises. You'll hear like a lot of interactions, but no ghost noises, aka goises, trademark. That's what you want to look for with the myling. So I'm going to play the myling again, and then I want to show you how it would be with a regular ghost with us hiding in that same spot. So things to pay attention to when we hear the footsteps, when you hear interactions. So hopefully you saw that there where we could still hear the footsteps and the flashlight wasn't blinking. Then compare that to the myling. But you know what? Since we're here, how about a bonus one in Edgefield? This one shouldn't be too bad, should it? Let's see if y'all can get it. Alright, did you get what that ghost was? I tried to show you some pretty cool things with it. Hopefully you picked it up. It is a very cool ghost. It is probably in my top 5. That's right, that ghost was a haunted. We could tell because it was cold in the ghost room. Well, it was fast in the ghost room because the room was colder. When it stepped out, it slowed down because temps were more up to normal. That's the speed change with the Hantu. That's what I wanted to really showcase here with this Hantu, because I mentioned it before, and I had a short where we actually had a Raiju, and a lot of people said that they confused it for the Hantu because of the immediate slowdown, or because it slowed down, right? But Raijus are fast with electronics. Hantus are fast in the cold. Their speed change is instant. The minute it steps out of the cold, it's going to slow down, and the minute it gets into the cold, it's going to speed up. There is no like delay, there is no gradual slowdown. It is an instant, and that's what I wanted to show there. But my brain is fried today because I forgot to record this ghost. So let's get recording, shall we? Let's get recording. We did find out some stuff already about it, mainly that. That's it. That's all you get to experience. I did smudge it. So let's wait for the haunt. Which I think, let's see, did we see anything with this? Look at you in all your nakedness. Looking for clothes. Looking for clothes. Okay. I don't know if that threw you off at first. Hopefully you got what ghost that was, because it was not very difficult. Do I really need to explain it? It was a rev. It got super fast in line of sight, not so fast out of line of sight. We can do a harder woodwind. The thing I have noticed about doing woodwind for these is I wish I had that luck doing the camp woodwind strat, because otherwise I fail miserably. If all the ghosts were that good, you could get a lot of really good experience. Let's see what we got here. What we got. Seriously, baby. Seriously, baby. I mean, it's a Polty. You see how much it's throwing these things? My God. What a Polty. What a Polty. What a Polty. Easiest Polty of my life. No mimic. Alright, Polty it is. Were you fooled by me saying Polty? I really hope you were. I hope I gave the greatest acting lesson and you are just like, why are you not in Hollywood as a Grammy Award winning actor? I wonder the same thing. I wonder the same thing. The ghost is cooperating with us today for some reason. I don't know why. The ghost, you're being extremely nice. It's kind of sus. I'm very sus of that. You son of a gun. I say that and it turns off the breaker. Alright. A floating bone. Let's go. What are we getting babies for? Why is we getting babies? Why is we getting babies? We get babies. Okay. I have an idea of what that ghost is. This wasn't the ghost I was thinking it was. Alright, I do think I know what the ghost is, though. Do you know what it is? That's right, the ghost was a Polty, and what really kind of gave it away was the forcefulness of the throws. Again, while Polties do throw more during hunts than other ghosts, it's also they throw it with a lot more force, And that ghost was flinging stuff. I noticed it with the second hunt. After the first hunt, I was really sus of myling. I really thought it was going to be a myling because I really felt like we could not hear the ghost that much. It seemed kind of far away. That's what I was testing for with the second hunt. And then while looking at it over in the other area, I was like, hey, those are quite forceful throws. Since it's not a myling, I think it very well could be a pole. So last hunt, again, I tried to bring it towards items before smudging it so I could see the throws again, and they did look like more throws than usual and forcefulness. Again, it's one of those things that when we talk about polties, I say you'll know it when you see it. I'm going to go through a lot of the ghosts that we could eliminate. I did not keep a smudge timer really for Spirit, but so we could rule out a Wraith because it stepped in Salt. It was normal speed, so we could rule out a Rev, Hauntu, Dio, Moroi, Raiju, Twins, they... was normal Blinks. It was normal Blinks, so it was not a Phantom, not an Oni. We were able to look at it a lot, never saw it shapeshift, so not an Obake. It turned off the breaker, so it's not a Jin. We ended up ruling out a myling because we could hear the ghost before it stepped, or before our flashlight malfunction. We did check for orbs, did not see orbs, so not a mimic. I didn't keep a smudge timer. That probably would have been useful. It never kind of roamed to us, so I really didn't think it was going to be a Banshee there. And those were kind of our options, and with the throws from the second hunt, I was kind of dead set on Polty after that, and just confirmed it with the third one. All right, I really feel like I have not done a lot of Point Hope lately. I haven't been playing it as much. Makes me kind of sad because I really like this map. So let's do a game here. Playing Point Hope on no sanity, no evidence is extremely hard. You have to play it very carefully. So let's not play it carefully at all. I think what I'll do first. I think I'll set you down here. Okay, I had no idea that that ghost would be so close. Okay. Very interesting. I was expecting it to be like super high up. I was gonna go get some more items, but it's actually super close. Alright. What can we do? What can we do? Just going to place that there. Drop you. We did learn a little bit about that. Not a whole lot, but we need to try to look at it. I would like to bring it up here because the pool table is a great looping spot. But that might be kind of hard. Okay. I'm sus of one thing. I have to just double check it. There's a lot to kind of think about when it comes to this. You downstairs now? I was sus of a ghost earlier. The timing of that was fucking incredible. Okay. Thank you for cooperating, Ghosty. So that was a Polty, which it did its explosion at the end as we were walking through it. Oh, I love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Polty explosion is one of the coolest abilities in the game. Absolutely. Tougher game there. All right, so let's see what we could eliminate. The first time, we knew that it was going to be normal speed. Normal speed, again. We couldn't quite rule out a Raiju just yet. We could rule out a Moroi, Dio, Thay, Hontu, Rev, and the twins. We knew it later stepped in the salt. This was not going to be a wraith. When we looked at it, it was not a phantom. Chin, we probably could rule it out because it probably would have caught up to us quicker, but we really didn't get a good test for it. Oni was one I was sus about because I just wasn't sure. I was like, this ghost seems kind of visible. But also after that first hunt, it kind of sounded, I was like, that seems like quite a few throws. And so Oni and Polty was the two I was kind of going. I was going to try to do a shade check, but it moved rooms, so not a Goryo there. Not a Goryo at all. Was not an Obit because we did look at it for quite a bit and never saw it shapeshift. I was sus a Polty after that last hunt as well. I was like, I'm pretty sure we could just go Polty there because, again, we're also looking at how often it throws, how forceful are the throws, and those items were really getting flung around. And thankfully, we did get the Polty ability at the end, which made it a Polty. All right, let's get on to some fridge view here. See what we got. Sounds kind of fast. No, I'm just kidding. That was slow. That was slow. Very slow. Don't even just ignore me. Just ignore me. Forgot what this was for a second. All right. Definitely slow. It's always good. Always good. There's one or two ways, hopefully. If you watch all of my You Decide series, which thank you if you do, you'll know the best way to figure this out. Alright, do you know what that was? Right, that was a Thay, and if you recall back to what I talked about, I think it was last week's You Decide, Tier 2 Smudge is the best way for me to figure out the difference between a Thay and a Moroi. Those were the two that we were going by, and remember, especially with Tier 2 Smudge, the slowdown from the Moroi will be longer than a Thay. And it's one with practice, you get the feel for it. I use Tier 2 Smudge Stick a lot, so I'm more familiar with how long a ghost should stay smudged. I was better with that. I tried to do it a couple times for you. Hopefully you did pick up on it. Let's do fridge review once more. It threw me off there for a second. That one was a bit easy too. Maybe we'll get another easy one. Maybe we won't, but I want to show you something a little neat as well. Let's see. I'm gonna put that down there and get some more stuff. Yeah. Alright, it's actually like a pretty cool little place right here that we can kind of get a little peeksy-weeksy. Peeksy-weeksy? Cheeky peekies? whatever you prefer to call it. It's kind of funny. Well, kind of funny. It's kind of good. Good. Ghost will not see you right here unless it paths over here. There's always that chance it's not a hiding spot. I do not recommend trying this at home without a smudge stick. Unless you're really just caught out in a bind, but in which case you would just go over to that fridge. Look at that sweet, sexy fridge. Alright. I wish that fridge was my fridge. Maybe I should create another path just next to my fridge that I can always hide. Actually, it doesn't quite work for me. There we go. Where are you at? Look at that cheeksy peeksies. Cheeksy peeksies. Perfect. Beautiful. Didn't even bother us. Didn't even bother us. Alright. Don't know where upstairs it is. Let's take it one more good look at it, but then do this. Of course. So we'll wait one more. One more. I was trying to, obviously we were going to check for something that we talked about a lot. I don't know your thoughts on it. Have you moved downstairs? That one really threw me off. My question now is, where are you at upstairs? I don't think you're back here. Hallway doesn't seem cold enough. I didn't check it with a thermo. I'm just kind of breath checking it. Is this your room? Go over here. If you touch that, I figure... do a spur of the moment Onryo test. Jesus. Okay. I don't think I saw anything. Huh. I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't... Did you switch rooms? That one still looks... Well... I was hoping a crucifix would prevent it, but I do think we know what this ghost is. Do you? Unfortunately, that ghost was a stupid, stinky spirit. Let me show you how we got there. So after that first hunt, I'm not going to lie, it sounded kind of slow. And that's what I kind of was thrown off by for a little bit. So I was like, wait, was that kind of slow or was that normal? And then it sounded kind of quiet. So I was debating between like twins, myling, whatever it was. But that's why you always just recheck. So it was normal speed, normal blinks. So, normal speed, normal blinks. Not a Raiju, not a Moroi, not a Dio, not a Thay, not the twins, not a Hantu, not a Revenant, not a Phantom, not an Oni. It was not a Jinn, because it did turn off the breaker. Not a Shade, because it was interacting stuff with us in the room, and tried to hunt with us in the room. Well, it did hunt. It was not a Myling. When we did the Myling test, we could hear it before flashlight malfunction. Not an Obake, because we would have seen the shapeshift. Not a Wraith, because it did step in salt. Not an Onrya, because we held our lighter, which does act as a lit flame, and it did hunt. It did change ghost rooms on us while we were up there at least 3 times. Yeah, because it went from the green room to the bathroom to the hallway. Things we did not see orbs, so we could rule out a mimic. It did not throw enough and with enough force for me to really think it was a Pulti. We did manage to do the yokai test successfully, and it came right to us when we activated our radio. So these were the ghosts we were kind of down to by the end. It was Spirit, Banshee, Mare, Yurei, Demon. Now, one hunt did take over 3 minutes to hunt after we smudged it. Of course, it ended up being a Spirit. All right, let's do good old Willow Street. Always a great, great map. Always. Very interesting. Very interesting. Is it? Well, that was probably the nicest mare that I have ever dealt with in my life. I actually thought I might have ended up being a Pulte, but it didn't seem like... I was like, wait, there's still quite a few things here. I don't know if it was quite a Pulte, but I was certainly sus. But when we turned on the light, the ghost did turn it back off. And if a mare is giving me that early, we are rolling with it, baby. We are rolling with it because screw mares. They never seem to want to do their ability. But they did it there. That was a fast Willow. Let's do it again. I should have known it wasn't going to be a Pulte, because again, if you have to question, is it a Pulte? Probably not a Pulte. Not a Pulte. You know it when you see it. At least that's been my interactions with it. Okay. I was trying to do impromptu miling test there. Probably pretty stupid. But you know what? So be it. Oh man. Alright. Y'all think you know what that is? I think you can do it. I think you got this. That's right, it was a Hauntu. It sounded kind of slow to begin with. I was thinking either twins or Hauntu. Next hunt, it was like the room, ghost room, cooled down a little bit more, so it was slightly faster. But the minute it left the room, we heard it immediately slow down. That's a good indication for a Hauntu. I didn't want to give it away by standing up and letting the ghost not get line of sight with us, because it was too easy if I did that. So we stayed crouched, acting like we were going to loop it, and did that. Easy enough. Those were a couple easy, fast ones. Let's see if we can get a more difficult one. Ooh, spooky. All right. Look at that. Look at that. We're gonna be able to leave. Shit, no. Were we dumb enough to do that? Yes. Yes. Alright, so the ghost room should be right here. I'm legitimately confused right now. The breaker is. was a very confusing one. Do you think you know what it was? I think I do. That was a demon. That was a demon. That was the most demon, wraith, mimic, Oni thing of all time I've ever seen. Okay, so let me tell you what was going on in my head through this as we did it, because I'm honestly surprised by that result. After the first hunt, we knew it was normal speed. We did not have any electronic there, so we could not test for a Raiju, but it was not a Morai, Diothay, Hauntu, Revenant, Twins. It was not going to be a Shade because it did try to hunt with us in the same room. Not a Jinn because it turned off the breaker. But looking at the ghost, I could tell it was not a Phantom. I was almost thinking Oni, though, because it looked kind of more visible to me. Thinking that's an Oni, but let's do another hunt. Let's try and make sure. So I thought, while we're waiting for the smudge timer to cool down, let's go ahead and check for a mimic. So then as I come back in, I see that our salt was not stepped in. So I was like, dang, maybe it wasn't an Oni. Maybe it was a wraith. Huh. Who would have thought? Then, the minute I see that, and thinking that, and then I see no orbs, it hunts less than a minute 30 of our smudge timer. And I knew I was at least fairly accurate enough with it, because that was pretty early. If it was like 128 or something, I'd have been like, okay, I could see a 2-3 second delay. That's fine. But it was, I don't remember what it was, but you'll see it on the screen. I thought this thing was going to be a mimic, so I'm looking for the orbs, thinking there's got to be orbs here. But nope, hunts again. Then it steps in the salt. What? So I was like, well, not a wraith, not an Oni. It had to be a demon. That's funny. It's why sometimes you just want to double, triple check things. If you would like to play along to the previous You Decide challenge, go ahead and click or tap the screen now. Thank you to everybody who came out to this as the live premiere and are watching in chat. I greatly appreciate everybody. Thank you to all the channel members and the Twitch subscribers. You all are absolutely amazing. Thank you for the extra support. Happy hunting, everybody, and I'll see you in the previous You Decide.